Welcome to Season 3 of the Biz Show, sponsored by Invest Choir. Discover what's next with this insightful podcast. And now, your hosts, Barry and Lisa.
Good morning, Barry. How are you?
I am good, Lisa. Lisa, how are you?
We usually do that. Lisa, and Barry.
Well, I could say Lisa Manifold,
Yeah,
but
you could. That
I
is my
said that
name.
last week and you're like, you never call me that.
I know. I'm such a creature of habit or consistency, I should say. I like consistency.
Most everybody is, to tell you the truth, right? We get into our little habits and our little nooks and we get all our comfort zone around us and sometimes it's hard to step out of that little box.
Yeah, this is true. So it's good, Barry. You could keep me on my toes.
Twinkle toes, that's what we'll call you.
Oh, that's a cute one. All right. I'll take that one.
There you go. Well,
What are we
everybody,
talking
welcome.
about? Yeah.
Welcome to the Biz Show. And today's topic is pitch. We're calling it pitch perfect, right? And really what investors want to see and hear in 2025. And, it's changed, right? So over the years, I mean, I remember the days where I was doing pitches in front of groups of investors. And, there was a methodology that you followed. I remember the days, Lisa, that I would submit a business plan to a company and they would weigh it. And, if it weighed a certain amount, okay, that's a good business plan. We'll go with you. And they didn't even look at it.
Are you serious? Oh my
I
God.
am serious. Back in my days at GE on some of the
That's
things we did,
so funny.
no, they didn't even look at it. They just,
Wow.
oh, this is pretty thick and heavy. Yeah, so you've done your work. Great. I mean, all the pages could have been blank for all they knew.
Now there's nothing to weigh because it's all in Chat GPT. I mean, it's like,
Chat GPT. No, 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 no. Don't use Chat GPT for this.
I don't want to. I think people do, but I don't agree with it.
The thing is this. If you do that, the investors are smart. They're going to spot that and you've lost your chance, right? You've burned your bridge and they're not going to go with you. Because I mean, this is the foundation of your business. Now, don't get me wrong. Chat GPT can be used, but you need to use it as a guide.
Supplement, a supplement,
Yes. You
a
can't
reference
just,
point. But so many people, with everything, Barrier, they're going to cut corners because we're all in a rush. We're just like throwing things around now with the
they
chat.
are. And the funny thing is I'm going to say the younger generation, but for lack of better term, but honestly, a lot of the younger generation, they have several irons in the fire, right? So instead of doing one main job, they're going to do a lot of little side hustles.
Yeah.
And those may not even need funding, right? Or they may. But we're going to talk about if you do need funding and you're talking to investors, what do they want to hear in 2025?
Okay,
And,
good one.
there's very specific items. And so, and that's kind of what I want to hit upon, right? And so,
Well, let's dive
what
in.
do let's dive in. So, what do investors want to know? I mean,
Their brains. Yeah.
the biggest thing is how much money are they going to make, right? What's
I want to know the money. Show me the money,
show me the
right?
money, the
Yeah.
ROI, right? That's still number one. And they want to know how much money is this going to make over 2 years, three
Five
years, 5 years,
times,
7
10
because they want
times.
to exit.
Yeah. Well, they want to put
Right.
their money in something else, or they may want to retire, or they may have a goal of a certain dollar amount that they want to achieve, right?
Right, exactly. So, the the second item is really risk, right?
Oh, yeah.
And how few risks there are.
How
And that
concrete is this investment? How solid is it? How
yeah. And
track record proven results is it?
right. And if you have IP being, a copyright on something or a patent or whatever, that's worth its weight in gold when it comes to selling your business.
Yeah, because ultimately they're investing in the results, not just an idea that hasn't been, put out to the market yet or proven with any traction.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, they're not investing in ideas. They are investing in results. But most importantly, and the number one things that they invest in is you, the
The
team.
leadership. Yeah.
Yes.
Who's
And
behind?
I'm not
What credibility do you have? Right? They're always going to dive deep into the individuals that are backing that founded the idea or the company.
all the investors I know, all the investors in our network, they, I mean, the first thing they want to know is the team. Who's the team? What credentials do they have? How long have they been in the space? What do they know?
Yeah. What
Right.
is their background?
So
Hmm.
I can't stress that enough. The things you need to have, the number one thing you need is got to have a good team, a good solid team that knows what they're doing. And they've been
Yeah.
here
And if
before.
you could be dropping a name of some affiliation of the person that you're trying to seek funds for. And if you drop the right name, man, they're in. They're like, don't say no more. I'm in. So
And
that's,
honest, you're right. You're right. And honestly, these people don't have to 100% be your team members. They could be partner companies as long as you got some type of a contract or an agreement in place to work together. That is also going to uh, be a weighted factor too.
yeah. And then, of course, once they're in and they're making their money, they're going to want to know how they can get out or how quickly they could exit out.
Yes, that is true. And then last piece of this that they're really looking for is the vision and your execution plan, right? So, what's the big vision? That's great, but really, what's your roadmap? How do you get from point A to point B to point C to point Q?
Yeah. Be prepared to have that business plan spelled out.
Yes, and also I'm going to say have your contingency and backup plans too, right? So what you need to do, and Lisa, you and I use this word almost every podcast, pivot, right? So you got that contingency plan, the backup plan. So you've got your plan in place, but you also got to have some pivot points.
Yes.
And so, for instance, maybe when it comes to marketing or something like that, maybe you're going to go for paid marketing, but also you can pivot and go for organic marketing. So, and we'll talk a little bit about those just briefly, but um, those are things that are going to make you, you know, look like you're on the top of your game.
Yeah, you don't want to have the investor bring a solid question to the table and you not have the answer. So it's better to have those already depicted in your business plan and your roadmap. So it takes away any and all questions from the investor's mind.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So if we dive into this, right, and first things first is you really need an elevator pitch, right, of your company, and just a 1 minute. This is who we are, and this is what we do. And then
Yes.
from there, you're going to go into your slide deck, right, your pitch deck, and the standard pitch deck is 10 slides and they're pretty standard. And this is what all investors are looking for, right? And you know we'll list them here real fast, but I'm only going to spend 1 minute on them, right? So we'll just go back and forth on them. But the first one is your cover slide: who you are,
Yeah.
what's your logo, and what your mission is.
And that's really
Second,
where you want to captivate them and have something that's just, really self-explanatory, right? Your logo is your brand
yeah,
with
pizzazz, right?
that
You
gets them engaged. Yeah.
right, pizzazz. You want to bedazzle them, if you will. What's the next one, Lisa?
Oh, you want to have the problem statement. Why is this needed? Why is this what problem are you solving? What is your storytelling about the company? Something that could be a shocking fact. Again, you want to keep them engaged and capture their interest at this level.
Yes, you do. I mean, because there's a problem. That's why you're starting this business. Either you're coming up with a product or a solution that's going to solve some issues for your clientele. The next is your solution, right? What is going to be, how are you going to fix this, or how are you going to make it faster, better, cheaper?
Yep.
And then
And then
next,
market. Who's your market size? What is the addressable market, the serviceable area that you can cover, and how is that obtainable?
yes, exactly. I mean, and that's key. If you're looking for investors and you're investing in a small little podunk town, and I hate to say it that way, but if you got a town that's less than 5,000 people, don't
They're not going
expect
to
to
be
get a whole
interested.
lot of money, right? But if
Yeah.
you're selling to the entire United States, well, now you're selling to 330 million people. That's a whole different story.
Yeah, you got people's ears,
Right,
that's
exactly.
for itself. Yeah.
So, and then the next is your business model. How are you going to make money? And this is one of the key things, right? This is how the company is going to make money. What's your revenue stream? And then you need to know what your margins are.
Know your numbers. That's something Barry always says.
I
But this
do.
is
And
where
and this is one of the reasons why.
you're going to get into the nitty-gritty in this slide, right? They're going to want to look at those numbers and say, "Oh, wow, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with these numbers."
This is the money shot right here because
Yeah.
this is talking numbers and those investors, they're going to be looking at those. That's what they want to see. I mean, they want to see all this stuff, but that's the key money shot right there.
Yes.
Then you got traction, right? Milestones and things like that.
Yep. They're going to look at the partnership agreements and the revenue to date. What do you have in terms of historical numbers that you could share with them to provide the confidence in this investment?
Right. And this may or may not be relevant because if you're a startup company and you don't have any product or services yet, this is going to be zeros, right? But you need to have a compelling story as to why or a proof of concept. Go test a few customers and then get a testimonial from them.
Correct. Yeah. Make sure you get those testimonies. Very important piece of that
Right.
business model.
Yes, definitely. So
How are you
next
going to get your
is
customers, right? Where are they coming from? How are you getting them? What is your marketing plan?
yeah, know what the cost to acquire customers are. That's key, right?
Tell
And a
us.
lot of people, this is where I see a lot of people fail when they're pitching, is the fact that they don't know how they're going to get customers, or they figured out how they're going to get customers, but they don't know how much it's going to cost to acquire those customers.
Right. Maybe marketing.
Surprisingly, it costs money.
Oh, yeah. The marketing
And
exponential.
and even if you are organically doing it, it still costs money in the fact that you're spending time on it,
Yes. Time is
right?
money. Yep.
It is. And obviously, what's the next one?
Oh, you want to know your competition because your
There you
competition
go.
help you achieve the goal of how you're going to set yourself apart in the marketplace, how you're going to stay competitive in your numbers, and
Yep.
why are you better? What's your value proposition that you're bringing to the table that another company may not?
Exactly. And how you differ for them, right? For instance, you and I with InvestQuire, right? We're a business brokerage firm buying and selling businesses for our clientele, but we also offer management, business, and technology services. And that's really what sets us apart from all the other business brokers because now we can stay behind and work with that client after the sale and help them understand their business, maybe fill in some knowledge gaps, so on and so forth for them that, they might not have, or and we can teach them and coach and mentor them.
Exactly. Yeah. So we are
So
different, Barry.
we are different. I got 3 arms and 2 legs.
Nobody would know because we're not on video yet.
Not yet. As long as it's not growing out of my forehead, right?
Yeah.
And
And
then
then towards
again, I mentioned this to you before, right? Team. You need
the
team,
slide, you're
team,
going to
team,
say,
team. You
who's
need all your
backing this?
co-founders.
Yeah. Who are the team players?
Yeah,
Who's
and then
behind the idea?
your
Yeah.
executive staff, right? And who's and the experience that they bring.
Yeah, for some investors, that could be a big piece of their decision is like, do I want to align with these people? Would we get along well in making further decisions down the road, right? So,
Yes,
know,
exactly.
present the
And
team.
then, yep, exactly. The last slide is your ask. How much you're asking for?
Yeah.
How much do you want to raise? I will preface one thing on this. Do not ever, ever, ever tell them you're going to use this money for marketing or advertising. They will walk
Yeah.
away in a second because they none of them want to spend. It's been proven that that's just a garbage can to throw your money into,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
And at
yes, you're
that
going.
point, it's like, it sounds like you're trying to salvage the company from, having to close down. Like you want to seem viable to them that you really don't need that money for that purpose. So if you're saying, oh, I need, you to fill in my marketing budget, it's usually to save the company from falling.
Well, but it normally doesn't. That's the thing. 80% of the time they still fail. So you've just thrown a whole bunch of money into that bucket and bye bye.
Yeah,
And investors know that. So if you tell them, and if you go on and if you watch Shark Tank or anything like that, you will see Mark Cuban and Mr. Wonderful both. As soon as they say advertising, boom, I'm out. They say it all the time. So be cautious to that. And then how what's your investment structure, right? Convertible note, equity, things like that, right? So figure out how you want to do that. And you can be flexible, right? Because some investors might want a convertible note, but others are going to want
investimers. Made a new word.
what I call them
Investimers.
investors. There you go.
I
Woohoo!
think you put investors and customers together. I like that. Investimers.
I did.
Um, because the investor is going to create your customer.
It's
Lovely.
it. Well, let's talk about. So, anyways, we can't stress that enough. But
Yeah.
let's talk about what is the standout for 2025.
Right. What's new? What's new on the horizon?
So you mentioned the first one at the very beginning
Very
of
beginning. Oh my gosh.
AI, right?
I'm
Chat
hearing it.
GPT,
Yeah.
Gemini, Claude, whatever you're going to use. And so they want to know that you're just not enhanced by that, but it's built in at the core. But again, um, you are using it as a research tool. You're using it as, perhaps to help you with some of the marketing, but it needs to be you. It needs to have that human touch to it. And, you know, those are things that they're really looking at. So it's a hybrid, right? It's a hybrid of both.
They want to know that you're savvy enough that you are using it in your business,
Right.
right? But
Right.
it's not.
They exactly they do. And then also for today, it's really about ESG, right? And making sure that your environmental, your social, and your government governing policies are in place. And one of them that is kind of controversial right now is your DEI, right? Because DEI is who knows where it is, but um, I would actually put an asterisk by that one.
Yeah.
So, um, and then your it's sustainable initiatives and things like that. The next would be SaaS, right?
Right.
And SaaS is software as a service. If you're doing, I mean, so technology and biotechnology, those are huge. Investors, you got biotechnology, you got tech, they're interested.
Yeah.
And in SaaS, if you got a vertical SaaS revenue model, a reoccurring revenue model, so you build some software and people are paying a monthly fee for that thing, whether it's $5, $50, or $200 a month. Yeah, they like
Yeah.
that. It's
Yes.
reoccurring revenue, right?
That's where it's at these
Yeah,
days,
yeah.
all at our
So,
fingertips.
yeah, exactly. Um, the differentiators that are going to impress the investors are if you have a prototype or an MVP,
Yeah.
right? MVP being a minimum viable product, meaning you, so for instance, if you create a software tool,
Hmm.
can you launch that software tool at 50% complete and start making and generating revenue off of it, even though it's not 100% complete? That's an MVP,
Yeah.
right?
And also, they love to see if people already have letters of intent on the table that there's actually people wanting the company, right? Paying customers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you're partnering with well-known brands, right? So maybe you're partnering with Microsoft or IBM or Google, or maybe you're partnering with Lowe's or Home Depot, um, things
Shows a
like
lot of
that.
credibility right there.
Right.
Mhm.
And then we mentioned this one earlier, Lisa, um, IP, right?
Yeah.
And why is IP so great? Because if you got the patent on it, nobody else gets to make it without paying you royalties, right?
all the money goes to you, Barry, in your pocket.
Or you, Lisa. We're 50-50 partners here,
That's
so we're
true,
splitting it.
right? Exactly.
And
And
then
then if you're a second
go
time
ahead.
founder, you've been doing this before, you
Right.
have tested the market, you've tested all the problems that could potentially go wrong, then they see that as like, okay, wow, they know what they're doing.
Yes, exactly. Well, you've been there, you've done that, right? You have experience, and they do
Yes.
want to see that.
What are some mistakes? Oh my gosh, it could kill the deal. You could lose your investor immediately. Um,
Yes.
some common pitfalls.
What are they?
Well, you don't want to come to the table without the data and just look like you're making it up on the fly. Some people are
I
good at
have
that,
s-
but
I have seen that. I've seen people come to the pitch something
so
to me
excited,
or
right?
whatever, and it's an ideal in their head, but that's all they got. And it's like, okay, that's great.
And
Put
they
it
want
down
20
in
million,
writing.
right?
What's
Yeah.
that?
They want 20
Yeah.
million. It's a great
Yeah.
idea. Come on, open up your
Exactly.
piggy bank.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or
Talking. Yeah.
talking
Or
about the
talkers.
product and not the business, right? Because they're not investing in the product, they're investing in the business. So that's great. You can take a couple minutes, talk about the product, but you need to spend the majority of your time discussing the business, the people, the marketing, the go-to markets and stuff like that. That's what they want to see.
That's where their business model may likely have holes in it because they're so focused on that one area. Yeah.
Right. If you're coming and you're talking just about the product, then basically, you're pitching a product to them. And
Yeah.
okay, they may buy the product,
Maybe
but
they
they're
want to
probably
buy
not
it.
going to be an investor,
Right. Exactly.
right?
If you have
Or
like really unrealistic numbers too, if they do have a business model and they have shot these numbers way out into the sky, but they don't have the roadmap to get there, then that's going to, cause for concern. It'll look very unrealistic to the investor.
let me say something here to that too, because think of this. You come and you want to build this big company with 10,000 employees, right? And you're asking for $50 million. That's all great and dandy, and that's 10 years down the road. Almost every single company when they started, including Microsoft, including Google, including Apple, all started with two or three people,
Yeah.
right? Keep that in mind, right? So it's okay, you're pitching the investors and you're looking for your seed funding. And then if you notice, and people might hear this, there's a series A, B, C, D rounds of funding, right?
Yeah.
Because,
People like to get in at the ground level, right? That's when you buy
right,
stock low.
right. The stock
Yeah.
goes up. And most of the time, when you're pitching for this and stuff like that, if this is the first time, it's going to be your seed round. This is really the proof of concept, right? So you're getting the money, you're going to keep it small, you're going to build and prove that you can do it. And then once you prove you can do it, you're going to go out and reach for more money now to put the marketing in, or not the marketing, but the manufacturing in place, or whatever the case might be.
You're laying your foundation. So once you start that,
Exactly.
like kind of becomes more easy to achieve and attain other investors.
Right. So as I said, don't think that you're going to go out there and pitch yourself a $50 million company with 10,000 employees from the get-go. It's not going to happen.
Be realistic.
Exactly.
Don't be embarrassed. And there's always a starting point.
Well, you got to learn somewhere, right? And yeah, we all were beginners at one time, right?
Yeah. And some people are just really great at pitching, right? They're so good at selling and pitching that they don't have any substance or any of the backup to their words. And I think savvy investors can spot that from a mile away.
Well, think of this, right? Most investors, they get pitched to all the time. So they've probably seen 100, 200, 500 pitches already. So
Yeah.
you are not doing anything new, right? That they haven't seen, at least in the realm of the business models and stuff like that. So they're looking for some consistencies across that. And when you are out to lunch on stuff, and your projections are, oh, we're going to make $100 million in the first year. Yeah, goodbye,
Yeah.
see ya.
Bye.
The other thing is a big pitfall is people don't define how they're going to use the
Use the
funds,
funds. Yeah.
right?
The
So you need
investors
to,
will ask them as a test question just to see if they have that planned already out.
yeah, that's a good idea. And then a cap table, right? Or they have no cap table. And so investors are going to be, well, who's already in this? A cap table, by the way, for people who don't know, is your table of your current investment layout, right? So how many people have already invested in this, how many shares they get, stuff like that. So you want to make sure that you spell that out.
So, Barry, we're talking next about preparing for the pitch meeting. Now, would you recommend somebody like starting a conversation without a pitch deck? I mean, because we do meet people on, on a daily basis, and sometimes you're able to pitch them organically, and you may not have that pitch deck created yet. So, would you
This is true.
advise to not pitch them at all and wait, or to start planting that seed and then say, I'll follow up with our pitch deck?
Well, you can do that. And that's why I said you need to have your elevator pitch already in place, right? So you need to figure out what your elevator pitch is.
Yeah.
And then the elevator pitch can then turn into, and that's your 30-second pitch. And then you might have a 3-minute pitch. And then after that, if they, hey, yeah, send me some more information, that's when you send out your deck.
Okay, got it.
And
Yeah.
typically you're going to send out your deck and an executive summary. And that's it.
Mhm.
And then they're going to look at that. They're going to look at the executive summary. And then if they're interested, then they're going to ask for your business plan, your pro formas, right? Your
Mhm.
financials.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
if,
So the
if,
questions you want to prepare for,
yeah,
basically,
customer acquisition cost, big one.
yeah,
And then you're going to get asked. I ask it all the time. And I know every investor asks is, what's your burn rate? And what's your runway? And
yeah.
people look at you, some people look at you and go, what are you talking about? Your burn rate,
They haven't thought about it. They're always
how
thinking
much
about
are
the
you spending? What's your monthly cost? What's your weekly cost? What's your daily cost? That's why I said you need to know your number, right?
numbers. Yeah.
And your
Who are the
runway,
competitors?
is how long is that going to take? Is that going to take 6 months, 24 months? What's that distance?
Yeah.
And then another big question is what happens if a big competitor enters the space?
Yeah.
Like, Microsoft, Google, Apple. How are you going to deal with that? How are you going to handle that? The good news is that if you have a patent or a copyright, we don't care if they enter the space because they're going to pay us because we're going to sue them, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, that's kind of it in a nutshell. But just a quick little thing here is some follow up stuff, right? So after you've done the pitch, the first thing that you want to do is what do you want to do, Lisa? What would you do?
Well, you meet somebody and pitched your company to them, and you're just definitely going to say, "Hey, thanks for your time. It was nice meeting you, and let me know if you have any questions. I hope you have a good day," and just send them a follow-up email.
Right. Exactly. Follow up email.
Include any meeting summaries or notes that you've discussed and what the next steps will look like. And always, always answer their questions immediately. And you want to do that with some precise data so they know you have a
Yes.
thorough answer.
Facts. Now you know why I'm so anal.
Yeah, you're very good at that. Providing data in your email responses and having concrete, factual answers.
Right. And also do this in a 24-hour period, right? If they, follow up in a 24-hour period and then be as fast as you can in responding to any questions.
Yeah, time is of the essence. Strike while their minds are thinking about your company.
Right. Exactly. All right. Well, that kind of wraps this podcast up. Yeah.
Yeah, Barry, thanks so much. And thank you all for listening to the Biz Show. I keep inviting audience members on a daily, but we don't want you to just listen. We want you to subscribe.
We do. And if you are looking for funds for your company, reach out to Lisa and myself, right? We do have an investment network that we can work with you. So we'd be more happy to take a look, talk to you, see what you need, and kind of get the ball rolling for you.
Yeah, and we'll be glad to help you pitch your company to them and be your
We'll
liaison.
yeah, we'll have a pitch it to us first so that you can practice.
There you go. Well,
All
follow
right.
us on
So,
Facebook. We have the Biz page. We have the Invest Choir page. We're all over social media.
yes, we are. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate that. Please, as Lisa said, please subscribe. It's going to help build our algorithm up, and then all the different platforms that we are on, which, Spotify, Pandora, Apple, Google, Amazon Music, and
Yeah.
iHeartRadio. They
Share it with
will.
your friends. Share our podcast with your friends and spread the word.
Yes, please. All right, guys. Well, you
All
guys
right.
have a great day. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye, Barry.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Biz Show podcast. Subscribe to stay updated and follow Barry and Lisa on Facebook at The Biz Show. Share your comments or suggest specific business topics you'd like to hear. Bye!